Alright, welcome to this next Codewars challenge video in JavaScript. And this next challenge is pretty straightforward. It says add the value Codewars to the website's array. After your code executes, in other words, after we test this or attempt it, the website's array should equal Codewars. So it should have one item in it. The website's array has already been defined for you using the following code. Var websites equals empty array. All right, so they're telling us to add the value Codewars to the already defined websites array. I'm just going to copy this into my text editor. So I've got that there, we don't forget. And just to help us problem solve, I'm also going to copy this over here because they say that this is what we already have. They've already given us a variable called websites and assigned to it the value of an empty array. All right, now how are we going to add into this empty array the value Codewars? Now notice this is a string, so we want to add this. Oh, sorry, not with that around it. We want to add that into this array. Now we can't just put this into the array like that. They've already given us the array. And if we put this in, well, let's actually see what happens. If we take this here, put it over there, let's see what happens. Sending request. Okay, well, the test didn't exactly pass. Let's say attempt. Okay, you assigned a new array to the website's variable. You should instead alter the existing reference. Okay, this is a very helpful error message, by the way. It tells us exactly what we've done wrong and now what we have to do. So they're saying don't declare a new variable. They've already given us this website's variable. So we have a variable already called websites, and it's equal to an empty array. That's what they've given us, right? Now, how do we add something to this? Well, there are a few ways of doing it. We could use a popular method called push. All arrays in JavaScript have access to a method called push. And what push does is it adds an item into an array at the end of the array. So we do that by saying dot push. Because websites is an array, if we say dot, we are accessing something within this type, and its type is an array. It's an array of anything. All right, it could be strings, it could be numbers, there could be other arrays within this array. But being an array, we can use this method called push, which we call or invoke by placing our parentheses there. Now, what do we want to push in here? Well, this is where we need to place some items that we want to push into this array, and we want to push the value Codewars. All right, now if we say websites.push Codewars, we should find Codewars within this array. So I'm going to take this, copy that, and put that in here rather, and let's see what that gets us. Okay, that passes. Now, is there another way of doing this? Let's see. Another way of assigning a value to something in an array is by accessing a part of the array like that, and then assigning that a value, say Codewars. Now, depending on what your code is doing, this might present some problems. This is a little bit neater because it's not altering the state of the array, it's just adding something to it. So it's not going to be deleting anything. This is saying whatever is in this array at index 0, in other words, right at the beginning of the array, the first item, make it this. If there is already something in here, like blah, then blah is going to become Codewars. All right, but since there is nothing in there, this should still work. And let's see if it does. Paste that in there, attempt, see what it does. Okay, that also works. That's another way of doing it. But this push method is very common. So remember that one. There are other methods that we can use for adding items to the end or for removing items from arrays. But for now, we've completed this challenge. I hope you enjoyed that.